How you doing, Remi?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, really good. I love the movie so much. Honestly, I
Good.
just think it's one of the best things I've seen this year. So good.
Thank you.
But no, I want to start with this. I mean, I watched. I did an interview the other day for a film that played at the London Film Festival called Relic, which is a horror movie, which is using like dementia as a kind of horror device to kind of tap in to play on the tropes of the kind of genre and the conventions. And obviously, in this one, you're using the kind of the refugee crisis and the trauma that comes with that. I'm just wondering about how great a device horror is to explore very real, very kind of important themes that exist in the real world.
What I love about horror is I enjoy the spectacle of cinema. I love that cinema um, can make big, small feelings, and specifically, I love the horror can be used to be quite psychological and to dig down into what's going on inside someone's head and makes I guess, the abstract tangible and very real and very visible. And I guess that's what makes horror so exciting and um, so rich for myself to really use as a tool to get an audience to empathize with a character.
And it must be such an interesting area to explore, because I can't say I'm particularly kind of spiritual or believe in the supernatural, but in some ways we're all kind of haunted by memories, aren't we, in many ways, and people from our lives that have been and gone.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. Like for myself, like I'm not a religious person at all. However, I do really enjoy spiritual stuff. I enjoy ghost stories. And I think part of that, whilst I'm not spiritual, I think reality is a very thin concept and it's easily breakable. And I guess it's another thing I love about cinema and I love about horror is that you can you can go into the mundane and the banal and shift it and twist it and make it strange and new and exciting. It's almost like a rebirth. And I find that as a filmmaker really fun to delve into.
And I'm reluctant to use the word humanize because it kind of implies people need humanizing. But I was wondering how important it is for you to have a film that is just showing the experience that people have to go through. And it's such an accessible kind of platform like Netflix, and it's out there. And it isn't humanizing, but it is just a very human story, and one that just feels very, despite being such a kind of playing up to the kind of tropes of the genre, it is very much it's a very authentic take of what some people do have to go through. Sorry.
Totally. Like I love horror generally, but often there's a few kinds of horror. There's the horror that revels in taking people out and killing people off, and there's a lot of fun in that. But there's also a horror that is about people and just observing people and humanity. And I guess that's what I was kind of trying to do in this, in that really just be about two people and two complicated people and watch how they try and figure themselves out. And for me, that was the most exciting thing, especially because as a person of color, you don't often get chamber pieces about two people of color who are complex and not always easy characters and watching them trying to figure each other out.
Yeah, well, and it's also two fantastically performances. But I could talk about it all day. But I'm afraid I'm out of time. But thanks so much, and best of luck with the movie.
Thanks, man.
Cheers. Take care. Bye bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey!